Hi everyone. So in this video, I want to kind of quickly go over the Unit 3 argumentative paper outline. That's the assignment that's going to be coming due. And I think that the document itself is pretty self-explanatory with what you should do with it, but I do want to give you an idea of where you can find some of the resources to help you with different sections of the paper. So one thing you should start with is reading the assignment details. Those are linked on the announcement. They will remind you that this should be completed using complete sentences. So when you're typing in these ideas, when you're including this information, these pieces of evidence, they should be in complete sentences. I don't want paragraphs, so not entire paragraphs, but complete sentences. So if here you're inserting a piece of evidence and you're quoting from a source, or even the sentence that you're including here is a paraphrase of your source, please also cite as needed. So include in-text citations as applicable. Okay. When we look at this, the first thing it asks for is in the introduction a hook, or it says a hook or background ideas. I would like you to insert a hook here. And I wanted to show you a resource that can help you pick out the different kinds of hooks if you're not sure where to start. This is going to be linked in our announcement, in our weekly announcement, the essay writing reference guide. And this essay writing reference guide is also available as one of the content modules at the bottom of our content options, one of the common modules. It's the essay writing reference guide, and there's a section in here that goes over hooks, including like some ideas of what you can do for a hook. You can start with a rhetorical question, you can set the scene, you can provide a blueprint, you can drop some knowledge, you can throw out an example. So for this section of the essay or of the outline, I would like you to pick one of those types of hooks. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of this background idea even. Hook. I want you to come up with one hook that you're going to use to get the reader interested. Now, a lot of this argumentative paper outline, a lot of the information in it can actually be taken directly from an assignment you already did, the Unit 3 Building Argumentative Research Questions and Reasons. So you already wrote a tentative thesis statement, and you also came up with 3 reasons in that worksheet you already completed. You turned that in, and I gave you feedback on that. So if you would like to go back to that assignment and look over the feedback that I gave you so you can incorporate it, you can do so and then use the tentative thesis statement and reasons here in your actual outline. So that's where you're going to be pulling the information for these parts of the paper. When we're talking about this background section, there is a request here for a brief history / timeline. So an overview of your paper and its like historical significance. And if you're not sure of that and you're looking for something to help you with that, I recommend doing something like doing a search in Credo. So you can see here that if your topic was the death penalty, if you go into Credo, which is one of those library databases available through MyDTCC, you can type in things like timeline on death penalty. And you may need to narrow, and you may need to play around with it. There's different kinds of historical timelines. You can see that some of them might be helpful and some of them might not. You may need to play around with this a little bit, but this database, Credo, tends to have things like timelines and like background information, encyclopedic information that can help give you an overview of your topic. So as always, when you're in a database, you may need to play around with the search terms to find exactly what you're looking for. But if you don't have an idea of the historical context, this would be a good place to start and look for it in the Credo database. And that may help you with this part here as well. If there's any like need to define certain terms, this would be a good place to include that information as well. You may end up not needing this section. That's why this is called a template. So obviously this is meant to be like any kind of outline. You don't have to just plug in exactly what it's asking for. You can adapt it to your needs. So when you get down to claims and reasons, some of y'all had 4 or 5 reasons, and that's totally fine. You would just need to add in a new section of your paper and then make your claim, it would switch things around. You would need to fix this obviously, but then this would be, claim 4. And you would keep going from there. Maybe you only have 2 claims and you're going to spend more time on your counter argument and rebuttal. That's fine. This is a living, flexible document that you can adjust to the needs of your argument. It's just a template, an idea of the things that you can include. Same deal. You may only have 1 piece of evidence for this claim and you may have 3 pieces of evidence for this claim. Adjust it as you need. Like I said, the claims and reasons are going to be coming from your Unit 3 Building Argumentative Research Questions and Reasons document. These pieces of evidence are going to be from your sources. So look through your sources to find evidence to back up your claims. And you'll want at least 1 piece of evidence in every claim. So even if you only have 1 piece and you decide not to use the second, that's fine, but you do want a piece of evidence for every claim you make. And you're also going to need a piece of evidence for your counter argument. So in this section, you're going to list your counter argument and you do need a source for it. So if you do not yet have a source for the counter argument, that's something that you will need to find and add in. And just like up here with if you go to Credo and find an outline or a timeline of your topic, these are sources that you would then need to add into your reference page. So it might mean that you're doing all the sources you found already, and then you're adding in these like 2 new sources. That's totally fine. You can have more than the sources you've already found. But if you do find more resources, you do need to keep in mind that they need to be cited in the paper, and there needs to be a reference for them in the reference page. If you have not yet found a counter argument source, that's something you will need to do. A good place to do that is in the SIRS website. So you can see here if your topic were artificial intelligence. What I did to find this was when you first log into SIRS, there's a list that you can organize alphabetically of leading issues. There's different ways of kind of categorizing a lot of these, but for most of you, not all of you, but for most of you, your topic will be somewhere on this list. So let's say you are talking about something like AI, because I know some of you are. You can see that if you click on that topic, there is a research question that might align with yours. And then there's also viewpoints listed. So this is viewpoint 1 and this is viewpoint 2. And they are opposites of each other. And underneath each of them, there are linked articles. So let's say you asked this as your research question, and this is your viewpoint, that artificial intelligence has the potential to improve society. If you're looking for a counter argument, you can come over here to viewpoint 2, and these sources will provide a counterpoint to your point of view. So these sources will explain that artificial intelligence poses too many risks that could get worse. When you're looking at these, you need to click on them and make sure none of them are from University Wire, because those are not appropriate sources, but otherwise that's a good place to look for counter arguments. If your topic isn't listed on here, then that will be a situation where if you don't have a counter argument source, you're going to need to go and find one somewhere. And then your rebuttal, you're going to give your response to the counter argument, and then you'll include whatever supporting details you need to prove your point. At the end, you're going to restate your thesis in new, fresh language, and then you're going to provide a call to action. You're going to answer this question of what do you want your reader to believe or do with the information you just provided? So you may hear say like, get out and vote, or think about this the next time you are, selecting what type of energy you're going to have running your new house that you just built. You may advise people to be more careful with the devices that they use. You may tell people that they need to really be aware of what information AI might be storing about them when they use it for health purposes. You might want to warn people or ask them to do something, but that's the call to action that you're going to end on. And just like I mentioned, the essay, the essay guide in the beginning is a good place to look for hooks. This essay writing reference. There's also a section on here for conclusions. So there are resources on writing your concluding paragraph that has helpful information that can help you with this portion of your outline as well. So that's where you're going to find the information to complete this outline. So again, complete sentences. If you're pulling things from your sources, you need to make sure that you have in-text citations for quotes and paraphrases. And I look forward to reading these.